Okay. Actually, I'm going to start sitting, I think. So, I'm going to lower this down a little. On a video, then fucking with your camera for the first 2 minutes. Much better. Okay, I still think that the screen is dirty. Okay. Whew. All right, it looks really, really weird because I put this huge bright light in front of me. Hi, Hexen. And I feel like it looks really weird because I'm not used to seeing me in this light. But that's okay. All right, let me get this up. And really, they're going to give me a commercial before they let me see my own live? How annoying is that? Okay. Hi, Witchy Woo. Hi, Lisa, Trisha, Kristen, Miss Babs, Crafty Batty. Hello. Hi, Shauna. All right. See, now I don't like it with no light behind me, but it screws up the camera, I think. Yeah. Maybe a little. I don't know. I just don't like it. Maybe it's because I'm getting old and I don't like the light right on me. All right. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing? I'm all right. I'm hot because our air sucks. But I'm all right because it's Friday. And I didn't get a drink. Yes, I did. I just didn't bring it. Mercury retrograde is killing me. How about you all? I'm feeling pretty good. I am. We're going to talk about Lughnasadh tonight. Your witchy cabinet's goals. Thank you. Actually, I should pan around and show you guys at least a little bit. We kind of switched things around a little. Here, let me show you a little anyway. So we pulled the bar thing back so I have more leg room in there. And then we kind of moved some shelves and stuff and moved some of the stuff over there instead of having it like back up against here, so it kind of opened everything up over here, which is good. So it's getting there. I have a lot more organization kind of stuff to do, but I took out some of my Lughnasadh stuff, the wheat and the harvest goddess and the wheat dollies, which the other one is over here. So all the different wheat dollies and sheep. We'll kind of go over some of the correspondences and stuff. All right, now, don't look at my messy part. I still have to do my my Lughnasadh altar over there. So this weekend probably I will get that done. I hate when this is tilted. All right, I'm having a hot flash. Yes, me too. It is normal. And I had my lab work done, you know, and I'm not even in menopause yet. This is just normal, apparently, for me. I'm dying. Okay. So there's quite a few things to talk about Lughnasadh. Let me just find, there was a quote that I just read in doing my research here that I just absolutely loved. And I wanted to read it because it talks a lot about how I feel about Lughnasadh. It's such a lovely time. Lughnasadh is like, for witches, it's kind of the beginning of autumn. because even though summer's not quite over, it's the first harvest though. And so it's when, things start to cool off a little bit and we're not in the heat of July anymore. 70% humidity, that'll do it, right? We're not in the heat of July, and so things start to cool off and we start to think about collecting for the winter, and the first harvest comes in and everything is like golden and yellows and oranges and pretty, and the leaves haven't started to change yet, so everything is still growing. I really like Lughnasadh a lot. Okay, so it marks the beginning of autumn, and no matter how subtly, the death of harvest begins to overtake summer's vitality. Hi, Kay. 109. Ugh. Well, you never cool off over there, though. Animals that will be hibernating through the winter are starting to gorge and to store away provisions, and migrations are beginning. Lammas, which is, a lot of people call it lammas because it means loaf mass. Hi Jack. Hi Donna. I like Lughnasadh because it's Celtic, but also, I don't know, I have a hang up, I guess, about calling something a mass, probably because I was Catholic, that I'm like, that just doesn't do it for me. To me, that they took Lughnasadh and Christianized it again, So, I don't know. I have a hang up about it, but if you want to call it lammas, that's okay. A lot of pagans do. So, Lammas is the first of 3 harvest festivals. Some crops are coming ripe already. Fields begin to turn from green to gold, while flowers go to seed and fall to the ground. The hours of daylight are shortening noticeably now, which I notice, like here it is 7:30, and it's also already kind of looking a little bit like dusk already. The goddess, in some myth cycles, begins to grieve in anticipation of the god's impending death. And yet there are still glorious days that seem to make time stand still. Hi, long hair, skinny-eyed toe. Every time, I smile every time. Her joy in his life is still evident in the last of summer's blooms and wines, yet she witnesses the inevitability of winter as well. Celtic is Irish roots, yes. Irish, Scottish, Welsh, those countries, even some in England. So she begins to mourn and bemoan the god's death that she sees is coming. We talked about the oak god being mortally wounded at Litha. And he's bleeding and he's dropping seed into the ground. And the goddess knows that he's dying. And so she's upset by that. But there's also good days where she kind of forgets that he's mortally wounded. And there's still pretty summer days ahead. But you can noticeably feel that the harvest time is here. Let's got Irish here. All right. Lughnasadh. Yeah, remember that's how Hermione told her friends to pronounce it, right? So not yet do we see the apparent bareness of winter or even the brilliance of leaves, red and gold morning. But looking around, we realize that before there can be rebirth in the spring, there must be the dying and the rest that follows it. Remember that the name of this Sabbath, Lammas, is from the Anglo-Saxon word for loaf mass. And this mass is in celebration of loaf made from the life we know is waning. We have shared our energies with the world all summer and spurred various efforts towards growth. Now we need to see what summer projects are still unfinished and whether we might still be able to complete them this season. It's time to begin gathering our energies to ourselves again. During these last warm days, we should rejoice in what we have produced from our summer activities. Yes, there's a slight chill in the air now, and we know that we need to think about how we'll stay warm in the coming months. Yet there's still a little time for growth as we start to orient ourselves towards the harvest. And we ought to, we must take pleasure in the work that we've done to supply our hearts and minds as well as our bodies for the winter. It's kind of a nostalgia time. You know, where's the chill? I know. It's a time where you kind of think back to, you know, what you've done all summer. And the first harvests, I don't know what I'm saying. The first harvest is coming in. So, Hexen specifically asked for this video because he wanted to know about what herbs and oils and stuff we should be using for our incense and our oils, our sacred oils for Lughnasadh. So really, I try to teach that when you are thinking about what herbs and oils and stuff to look at, first of all, you want to look at what's growing outside around you. And, you know, it's not going to be the same for me as it would for Hexen down in Miami, but it should be like a similar vibe to it. So around here, we're looking at heather, which I wish I always forget to grow heather, to plant heather until this time of year comes, and I think, oh, it'd be nice to have some heather, because this Lughnasadh especially heather is a big thing for Lughnasadh. But you're kind of looking at what's here. So we have an apple tree out front. The apple blossoms, by the time August 1st comes, the apple blossoms will be in bloom. And so we can pick some of those apple blossoms to use. The corn is growing. The wheat is growing. This is a big grain holiday because the first harvests are stuff like wheat, corn, oat, and berries, lots of berries, blackberries, raspberries, especially the darker colors are really big for this holiday. The other thing is lavender. Lavender is really big. It's big from spring until fall. I always think of the lavender for Hecate. Specifically, Hecate loves lavender, but you have to give her all the lavender, and as a matter of fact, all the crops that are still there after Samhain go to Hecate. So you donate them, you offer them to Hecate after that. You should not be harvesting any crops after Samhain. They all go to Hecate, and Hecate loves lavender, so she gets a bunch usually if you live in the right areas at Samhain. So that's always nice. All right, so let's talk about what else. So the herbs, wheat and other grains, heather, goldenrod, which at least on the East Coast, and I think a lot of places have goldenrod. Now, if you're an allergy sufferer, be careful. Goldenrod is notorious for, you know, having allergy sufferers have kind of a problem if you bring it in the house. So be careful, because you will kill yourself with it. It's really pretty, but it's not something you want to bring in the house if you suffer from allergies, because it's a big pollen holder. Peony. So I have a whole bunch of leaves that I dried from my peony plants that finally bloomed after everybody left. So peony is a good one. Queen Anne's lace. So y'all know what Queen Anne's lace is. It's the white flowers that look like they're real big usually. And they are starting to bloom around here. They're about this big, and they look like, I just think they look like little lace umbrellas. No goldenrod in this house. Lovely to look at, but deadly. See, there you go. A lot of people are like that, Kay. It's not just you. Wild carrot, absolutely. Can I harvest my heather? Absolutely. For sure, harvest your heather. Absolutely. Vervain. Vervain is a good one. Basil, mint, aloe, mugwort, hops, comfrey, blackthorn, elder, and acacia. I used my Queen Anne's lace in my wedding bouquet. Ah, perfect. And it should be in bloom already around here. You should be able to find it. Not growing here yet. Ah, well, that's right. You're north of me, right, Kay? Where are you? Are you in Canada or am I thinking of somebody else? I've seen it around here already anyways. I've been trying to grow my own lavender for 3 years. Yeah, I get little, I'll take a picture when we're done. I get little blooms about this big that I can cut off, and that's it. So Kimberly, you're talking about having a lot of heat. That's why you have so much lavender, and that's great. Yeah, there you go, Kay. That's what I thought. I am starting to see the Queen Anne's lace. You'll probably get it in a week or two. But the hotter you are, the better the lavender grows usually. And lavender usually likes dry too, which is not very dry here. So I always have a hard time with my lavender too. So foods, let's talk about foods, which would also mean, again, oils, grapes, because grapes are starting to grow really well. Wine, beer, bread, anything made from grains, blackberries, crab apples, pears, raspberries, black currants. So a lot of berries and a lot of grains. So you want to look around, again, what is growing around you, and base what you're making on what's growing around you. All right, now we're going to get to the actual herbs and oils here. So let me raise this up and get behind the altar here. Sorry, guys. Ugh. Hopefully I can still see your comments from here. Ah, hold on, I just broke it. Ugh. I have to get, this is like my pieced together tripod, which drives me absolutely freaking batty. But it works 90% of the time. All right. Okay, so let's talk about what herbs you can use for your, let's start with the incense, okay? So we're going to get, I really like my my cast iron mortar and pestle are pretty much my favorite, especially for herb work anyways. So this is my thing of peppermint so far this year. Got lots of peppermint. Mint is a good thing. It grows all the time, so mint is a good thing to put in anything. It smells really good. We're going to keep our calendula, which came from, we also used it in the midsummer. So calendula, it's, first of all, that bright yellow color. So remember when we talked about the colors of the season of Lughnasadh is bright yellows, oranges. Oh, I love the smell of calendula. Ah, bright yellows, oranges. So calendula is that bright yellow color. That's good. I try to always have a sunflower on my altar for Lughnasadh, at least one. Sometimes they're hard to find around here in August because they haven't quite bloomed yet. It's usually a little bit towards the middle of August, but I have a fake one if I need to. I just would much rather have the real thing. So calendula. Calendula is one I'm definitely going to put in. And again, I don't measure very well, guys. I just kind of put in some. Put some in. I'm going to put in we got some awesome mullein, mullein. That's a good herb that you should have some dried from the summer harvest here. We got some from our friend McCain. Hi, Paris. Vervain. Vervain is a good one. It is not just for keeping away vampires. But, you know, here's the thing. If you watch any of those vampire shows that talk about, like, what am I thinking? You know, what are the two that are really big with vervain? It's Vampire Diaries and the originals. And they talk about vervain all the time. Yes, mullein. Okay. I got 2 jars of it as a gift from someone who came to Tarot Stock. Vervain and wolfsbane, right? Vervain is good to keep away vampires, right? So when we think of that in our existence, vervain is good for keeping away energy vampires too. So remember that when you're at work and that one girl will not leave you alone and constantly has to one-up you every time you have something to say, like, okay, my life sucks right now, this is going on. Yeah, but you should wait to hear what happened to me, because mine is much more important. Right? So vervain is really good for that. And you, I would use oil, the oil, do I have it out? I should. Heather, blackcurrant, grape, frankincense. I swear I had it out. Am I crazy? Oh, vetiver. I don't have any more vervain right now. Haha. Okay. So, did I put any in there? I can't tell. I'm going to put a little more vervain in there. Hollyhock. Hollyhock is a big one for Lughnasadh. And look at the flowers there. I don't know if you can see. An energy vampire. What's an energy vampire? So an energy vampire is, you know, that person that you work with or that person at school that you talk to them and they immediately suck out any energy that you have. It's always, they're constantly in crisis. Hi, Claire. They are constantly, I need, you know, oh my gosh, I need energy my life is awful. They're those kind of people that make up a crisis when they're not in crisis. They have to make one up because they have to constantly be in, oh, my life is so miserable. And as soon as you get around them, you think, oh, I don't know if I can do this today because they're just killing me. Big green leaves with huge stalks and little yellow flowers. All right, so hollyhocks. We're going to put a couple of those in. Hops. So you all know hops is what they ferment for beer. So we're going to put in some hops here. Mugwort. Hi, Shamara. Mugwort is good anytime, but, you know, it's still good here. You know, mugwort, I'll tell you, I think some of the reason that I use mugwort in so many things is because mugwort, when I think of mugwort, the first thing I think of is your connection to the third eye. So your abilities, your clair abilities. And so it's always good to strengthen your clair abilities at any time, but especially during the holiday season. Basil. We're going to put some basil in there. Hopefully y'all have some nice fresh basil. We have, this is some white oak bark. If you don't have any, go, you know, find a oak tree and ask it for a donation and look around and see if they have dropped any little twigs or anything and just grind them up. So now it doesn't have to be fancy that you have to buy it, guys. Here's acacia flower. Hi, Joe. So we're going to use some acacia flower. That's a big one for Lughnasadh especially. The only thing I'm missing that I usually put into my Lughnasadh is grains. I usually have a lot more grains. I usually have oats and corn, and I don't have that right now. I got to go out and get some. I do have some fennel seed, so that is a grain that I'm going to put in there. And the last thing that I would put in there is frankincense. Frankincense is always really good. So I'm going to put some frankincense resin in there, which will make it smell awesome. And what are we going to do? We're going to put our intention for Lughnasadh. So what does Lughnasadh mean? It's the first harvest. It's the death of the god. So we're thinking about how awesome it is that we can enjoy water oak work. Absolutely, for sure. Even more so if that's what you have around you, that's what I would use. Absolutely. I'm low on frankincense too. Hear that? That's it. I got to get some more. I have some copal, I have some dragon's blood, but I am low on frankincense, which is kind of okay. I'll get some more soon. But it's funny, frankincense, now this is the last time that I'll use my frankincense until Yule. Because I switched to dragon's blood a lot more when the second harvest comes. From Mabon until, yeah, I do. I take my little baskets. Let's see, of course I don't have one around here. Oh, right here. When I go for a walk, I usually grab one of my little woven baskets and bring it with me and pick up, stuff that I find around where I am. Oh, this is beginning to smell amazing. Now, why do we do this? Especially with dried herbs. Here's what I will tell you. Sometimes you have an herb that's been in a jar for close to a year. And you smell it and you're like, oh, there's nothing to that. I think that went bad. And not that there's some herbs that will go bad. But if you take that herb and you put it in, knowing that your intentions are good, and you then grind it up with your mortar and pestle, what happens is it releases the juices that are still dried inside there, kind of releases it. And it allows you to then smell that herb again like it was brand new, just dried. So make sure, I know people will tell you to throw stuff out if it's been a year. I don't do that. Some lose their potency, that's true. Especially if you are using it for any type of ingestion. If you're going to take it for an internal use, I would definitely I wouldn't throw it out. I would use it for other things. But if it's for incense and stuff, I don't throw them out. In fact, these ones, the ones that I have in my my little plastic containers up there, I've had those since North Carolina. So that was 6 years ago. But you can tell some of them, most of them are stuff I don't use very much. Glass if you can have it. These are leftover from when I first started my herb cabinet, and I got these at the Dollar Tree. And this, like every one I got. So I think there was, 10 or 12 or something for $1. And so if that's all you can afford right now, then go ahead and get plastic. I have since gotten a million different glass jars from the thrift shops, from the thrift stores, and switched most of my herbs out to glass. But not all of us can do that. And when you're a thrifty witch and you're trying to save money, you take what you can get. And if you can get all these cute little, and now, of course, they didn't have the cute little jars, glass jars when I was going to the Dollar Tree for stuff. But now they have glass ones. So you can even get glass ones there. They didn't have them. They had just the little plastic ones, which they probably don't have them anymore. All right, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but it's gorgeous. All right. So all the little herbs that are in there. Are all mixed together. And let me tell you, they smell amazing. So what herbs do you use? You use the herbs that are growing around you. What happens to Leland? She is, I know, she's awful busy lately with work, for one thing. But she's doing good. She's still one of our admins, so I still talk to her every day because she's on our admin chat every day. But she hasn't been on videos very much lately. All right, so how about oils? Now, with the oils, you have to look again at what's growing and what do you have around. So what I looked at when I looked at my oil cupboard, I brought out frankincense. Hi, Michelle. I brought out grapeseed. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Nope. Never mind. I brought out blackcurrant because I don't have blackberry, although I would love to have blackberry. I'm going to pick some blackberries. I actually went out. My raspberries are not quite ready to pick because I was going to throw a couple raspberries in there too. They're not quite ready to pick yet. They're not quite ripe enough, so I'm going to leave them for another couple weeks, probably, or another week, maybe 3-4 days. I brought out heather, sweetgrass, and muscadine grape, and sandalwood. Do you see? So you kind of think of what's ready to harvest. Hi, Joan. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Jonah? Hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. All right, sounds good, Shauna. You look at what's ready to harvest or what's ready to harvest around, where you are, or what's at East Coast or West Coast or wherever you are, and put in some of those smells. So I knew grapes are going to be ready to harvest very shortly after Lughnasadh, so that I start to pull out grapes a little bit. If I had blackberry or raspberry, I would put some of that in. And then some of the woody stuff, which kind of goes with the grain a little. Hold on, I'm missing. Hang on. I picked up a nice jar candle at Wally World, vetiver lemon. Perfect. Our wild blackberries that grow nearby dried up. Oh no. Gotta go take my tea and biscuits out of the oven, no problem. I also use a lot of my glass instant coffee containers. That's a perfect idea. Do you have any videos on making incense? I do. I have some blue corn flowers. Perfect. That's perfect, Michelle. I'm such a fatty for food. Also, can you use mugwort in making incense? Yes. Yep. Absolutely mugwort. For sure. For sure. The videos that I have on incense, I'm trying to think. They're in the Beginner Witch series. I know I have. Usually I do videos for every holiday about herbs and oils. And then I did a whole video about incense making. I think it was, I feel like it's only been a couple months, but it could be up to 6 months ago. I don't know. If you are in the Facebook group, I'll try to post it in there. And if you're not, you should be, because we have a lot of fun in the Facebook group and we help each other out a lot. Okay, so what else? I'm gonna at some point, I hope I'm gonna stop by and get some corn husks so we can kind of look at making corn dollies. I did bring out my wheat dollies. Decorate your work altar for Lughnasadh. Tips: corn and wheat. Corn and wheat is very kind of traditional, easy to do. This is my harvest goddess. What is she? She's like a pilgrim chickie that I got at the flea market this year for Thanksgiving. But I'm going to use her as my harvest goddess. Stags. Stags are a big symbol of Lughnasadh and harvest. And I was so excited last year when I found my wheat. I found an actual ceramic thing of wheat to put on my altar. Who the heck now? And I was like, what do I need this for? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, the grain harvest. So I pull that out for every Lughnasadh. So yellows, oranges, think of harvest. You can put, right, impressive wheat. I know, it's beautiful. You can put orange and yellow stones, crystals. So citrine, carnelian are really good around this time. Also black and dark purple. You're still looking. Shamara last year was talking about trying to find, you know, some kind of wheat or something to put up. And I could not, and I think it was last year, wasn't it, Shamara, that I found my ceramic wheat? And I was like, I found ceramic wheat. I know, it's goofy. The things that you're excited about. You know, what are you going to do? I have the most amazing setups, all the cool stuff you find. Thank you. I was saying, I keep stuff for each harvest or for each festival on purpose. So it's just little things that I have, like I have, hi Miss Peaches. I have different chalices that I use for each harvest because I like different chalices for the harvest, or I keep saying the harvest, for each Sabbath. As a matter of fact, here, let me bring you over. This is where I keep my chalices. And hold on. Let me lower this a little bit, hopefully, so you can see. This is my chalice shelf. So this is a good harvest chalice. See the orange, and I love this one because it's almost like that aura, you know, the titanium aura on the stones. I really like that one. This is my Beltane chalice because it's two separate pieces that go into one. So it's like the oneness of the god and goddess. This, I haven't decided yet. I haven't actually used this for a chalice yet, but I have, I just love it though. Look at the blues and browns in it. And I have a plate to go with it. So I'm like, okay. I haven't quite, Imok for blue. See? This is my Yule chalice because it is white and it's oak leaves. See the oak leaves on there? So that is Yule. Yes, all of this is from thrifting. All of it. This is my Yule chalice. It's when the oak king overtakes the holly king. So I bring out the oak chalice for Yule. For Mabon, Mabon is the second harvest festival, and there's lots of grapes at the second harvest festival. So I bring out my grape chalice, which again has that aura look to it. And then for the third harvest festival, you think I like the harvest festivals? That's for Samhain.
Jenny?
Yeah, I'm doing a video. Can I help you?
Yeah, it's for Joey's paperwork.
I don't care right now. I'm doing a video. They'll have to call back or something.
How long?
I don't know. Here, let me answer the phone while I'm on the video. She's so crazy. Hello? That's wonderful, but I'm in the middle of a live video, honey, so you'll have to try to call back. Joey's not even in high school anymore. You kidding me? I'm just gonna breathe with that one. Okay. Samhain. This one is, as far as I'm concerned, it's moons all the way around. So I use this for a lot of rituals that aren't necessarily Sabbats, holidays. This is my regular ritual chalice. This I just use, well, I used to use it for Imbolc, but I use this for a lot of my, just, you know, every other kind of ritual kind of use. Either full moons or that kind of thing. That one has stars on it and it's red. Yes, absolutely. They're usually pretty cheap. This is an Avon glass, an old Avon glass that I just love. And I used to use that for Yule before I got the big white one. So that is my chalices, I think. I've got a couple others in there that are just like silver. I have a couple silver ones. I have that kind of stuff. But all of those were found with thrifting. What else? I don't know what you guys, if you guys really want to see all this stuff. Beltane, the red one. Yep, absolutely. Ooh, I have to sneeze. I knew that was coming. I used to collect glassware, candy dishes. Yep. What else? Bells. I have all kinds of different bells that I use for different holidays. That's my Beltane bell. This is just a plain gold one. This one I use once in a great while. I kind of put it on my altar once in a while. Because it's a little tulip. My grandma painted it though. See her signature? That's my grandma's signature on there. So I don't actually, like, I took the thing off of it because I didn't want it to break when somebody was doing that. This is my Yule bell. This one is for spring. Isn't that cute? That's a brass one. Hi, Earthy. That one is for winter time. So Imbolc, my blue. And then the second shelf is a lot of different offering dishes. So like there's shells, there's leaves. So when Mabon comes, I use a lot of the leaves. Gosh, guys, there's tons of stuff. I have little Yeah, you don't want to see all my stuff though. I mean, to me that's so boring. I'm like, just looking at stuff. Eh. I know. It always surprises me when I do like a tour video or something and a whole bunch of people watch. I'm always like, ugh, what do you guys want to watch that for? All right, so let me see. I know we had some. Oh my God, guys, Jen literally has a witch museum. She has so much cool stuff. If you guys can make it next year for Witchypalooza, please do. I agree. I think you definitely should try to make it. Any tarot cards that correspond to Lughnasadh. Okay, so the first harvest, when you think of the Hearst harvest, something like that, sure. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save that because maybe tomorrow I was going to pull out a couple decks that correspond with Lughnasadh for me. And I totally lost my train of thought because I just saw this bowl that, Hexen, did you buy me this bowl? I was just thinking, I can't remember if you bought it or you told me to buy it. I can't remember. But this is a gorgeous bowl and it would be really good for the harvest season. Now that it's out and it's got a wood bottom. And we got it at Savers because it was $3. And it's really going to be good for Lughnasadh. Yay. Yes, Savers trip. Yay. Yeah, that's going to be a really good one. I just saw that on my table and I'm like, oh, why didn't I take that off? I know I'll take the tag off, but I'm one of those few people that like to show how little we paid for it. Yes, so I will do tomorrow. I'll pull out some decks for Lughnasadh. I'm going to try to contain myself a little because if you've seen some of my, decks for this kind of season, sometimes I go a little overboard and it takes me like 3 videos to get through them. I'm going to try to be like 10 or under. Maybe 10 tarot and 10 oracle. No, I'll try to contain myself. And then we will talk about individual cards because I love the harvest season. When harvest season starts, it's like my time of year. The 3 harvest festivals are my favorite of all time. I love the time of year. I like start coming alive really during the harvest seasons. More than any other time of the year. So I love to think about, like, I can tell you right now, Pagan Otherworlds is one of my favorite decks ever. And I love when I get to pull it out because Pagan Otherworlds is a gorgeous deck and I love the deck. But I have some new ones. So 4 more months to October. Yay! See, a lot of witches, especially like the harvest season. So, and yes, I know my house is kind of like a store. That's true. I have a lot of stuff. But keep in mind, guys, I hate when I'm like, oh yeah, I have all this stuff. Because it bothers me to say, oh, I have all this stuff because I didn't start out that way. And if I had to start over tomorrow as a witch and didn't have a thing, you don't need anything. You don't need anything but you to be a witch. You don't need anything. Nothing. You can go outside and connect to nature and raise your hands in the air and feel that energy. There's a lot of stuff that you can get just all naturally around your house, all that kind of stuff. This stuff is nice. Let's be honest. We love this stuff. As witches, there's something with jars and boxes and baskets and bottles that we just connect to and we love to, have them. But it's taken me years and years and years to accrue this stuff. And 99% of it is all thrifted. So I didn't pay a whole lot for most of this stuff. I don't like to pay a lot for stuff. I just don't. So you don't need any of it. You just need, your heart, and you just need nature, and you just need that connection. The store comment was not an insult. No, I know it wasn't. I always feel like I don't ever want to feel like I'm going, oh, look at all the stuff I have. I hate that. You know what I mean? I'm not that kind of person. Everything is beautiful and full of stories and memories. That's true. Absolutely. For sure. And it's funny, the things that mean the most to me are stuff like the bell that my grandmother painted and the first wand that I whittled and, put the little piece of amethyst at the end. This is my favorite wand of all time. This is lilac wood that I picked up from my grandmother's lilac tree out back, and I burned the symbols into it, and I took copper wire and I wrapped an amethyst around the front of it, and this is my first wand, and it's my best wand. Aw, I love you, Hexen. And you guys know, if you come to see me, if you really loved something, I would probably give it to you. Because, as long as it wasn't my grandma's or something like that. Because I love the stuff, but, it's just stuff. I love you guys. I love the connection. How did I burn it into there? I have a pyrography pen that heats up, and you're sharing wisdom. I love you guys. I just do. And I'm glad that people say they had a good time at Tarot Stop, because I can't tell you, that was like the dream. That was really the dream. Is that one the one you found when your sons found theirs? Yes, as a matter of fact, yes. My son, and I think at some point, and I was looking for that the other day. I wonder if Dustin took it back. Yes, copper wire. Copper is a wonderful conductor of energy. So it takes that energy in through the amethyst, and it winds it around the wand to shoot it down into my hand, or the other way. Comes up, winds around the copper, and shoots out through the amethyst. Awesome. Perfect. Aw, I love you guys too. And like I said, it was a dream. It was absolutely a dream. And what I wanted more than anything was for everyone to feel connected. And that's what happened. So you guys all have to come to Witchypalooza. Yay! I can't wait. I can't wait. I feel like it's so far away. I know we're supposed to go to Florida in January. I hope I can make it. See, now I'll start talking about the yucky things. Not the yucky things, but, my life shit that happens once in a while. Peter got a car this week, which was a big deal. And I wasn't thrilled about the idea, to be honest with you, because my car is finally almost paid off. And I kind of thought, oh, good, finally we'll have a little bit of money. And then he decided he needed a car, which, you know what? When I thought about it, I'm like, okay, you know what? He's right. He's an adult who has a job now, and I guess he needs a car, whatever. But we were supposed to keep it under. How far are you from here? I am not far at all from my airport. It's like 15 minutes, Kay. But it was supposed to be a payment that was lower than my car payment. Because his car was supposed to be something he can get back and forth to work, which literally his work is less than 10 minutes down the road. But anyways, now he's paying like $15, $20 a month more than we paid for my car payment for 5 years. I'm like, and then, but I will say, he knows that I was a little annoyed by it, because he told me this morning he has to drop me off, and I'm like, okay, fine. And he got my car fixed Finally, my car got fixed. It's not loud anymore. It sounds like you can't even tell it's on. I turned it on. I'm like, oh, is it on? It's awesome. Hi, Farah. So, but because of that was, we thought it was going to be 400, and it turned out to be 580, which was kind of like our food money for 2 weeks, but we'll figure it out. It was exciting. I know, right? I know. See, yeah, Jack had to ride in it, and it literally, like, the muffler part falls out, and then it's really loud for a little while, and he's got to put it back in. So now that's all done. Yay! I'm not going to lie, I was scared a few times in your car. Oh, give me a break. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ponders Pros. I appreciate it. Just have to do it the first time. Yep, you'll be okay, Kay. Jack, I was so scared. Oh my gosh. That was just Jen's driving. I was waiting for that. Look, I'm an awesome driver. I just happen to be aggressive behind the wheel. And shut up, you guys. No, I know. I'm gonna stop talking now. Anyways, Kay, we'll figure it out. Absolutely, we will figure it out. I wish I could come there and then then fly down with you, but we'll figure it out. There's a lot of people coming from Canada, Kay, so you may be able to find somebody. Aggressive, be aggressive. Be aggressive. All right, how long have I been on? Almost an hour. Wow, that's pretty good. I thought I was on for longer than that, but I think it's because I'm hot. All the lights. I'm not used to all the lights. You probably won't be able to see me like after this, because I don't think I can live that life. NASCAR Jen on the road. A little off topic, but I found a gorgeous adult coloring book with goddesses from around the world in it. Really, Lee? I'll tell you what, I found one too. Hold on. This is the one I found. I don't know if this is the one you found, but I got this on, where did I get this? I think I got it on Amazon, I think. And it was super cheap. It was like $3 or $4 or something. And I just started Kuan Yin. But I loved, it's got all kinds of, that's the one, Lee? It's really cheap, right? And it's so pretty. It's got all kinds of goddesses in it. And I just, look at that one. Can you see that? Oh, it's gorgeous. You found a video to learn about Gaia? Awesome. Look at, they're really gorgeous pages. I don't know if you can see, because see, now the shadow is coming in between. I don't know. All right, my loves. So does everybody have some herbs that they're going to use for their incense? Awesome. And tomorrow we'll look at tarot decks and oracle decks for the first harvest season. You're about a 4-hour drive from the border from Niagara Falls to New York. Awesome. That's not that bad, Kay. Super, super stressed. I'm sorry. I totally missed, Kim, what you were super stressed about, but I'm sorry. Oh, I need to be coloring. Oh, I gotcha. Yes. So we will talk a little bit more about Lu, the god Lu, which is, what we're celebrating. And is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I know I still have decks to show. I've got a whole list of stuff I want to get to, but you guys need to just let me know if, there's something that you, like Hexen said to me this morning, would you do a video on the herbs and stuff for Lughnasadh. So if you guys have a feeling like that, like, hey, let's do a video on this tonight, just let me know. If it's reasonably possible, I'll do it for sure. Okay? And, oh, those of you who were here, I'm working on getting your certificates. I've been trying to find good paper to do it on, and I just haven't found the right one, but I think I got a lead on some good paper. So I'll be sending you your certificates. Yay. All right, guys. I love you. I almost don't want to leave, but I'm kind of hungry. But I don't have to pick Peter up tonight. Yay. All right. I'm hotter than hell, though. I got to turn this light off. So I love you guys. New Scully's video. Oh, yes. And you keep saying that, which you I will try to do that. They're all over there. I will try to do that. I promise. I love you.